If you're drowning in credit card debt in Texas, what you don't know about debt relief could cost you thousands or even a lawsuit. The average Texan is carrying over $6,200 in credit card debt alone. And with interest rates over 20%, that number just keeps climbing. But here's what some debt relief companies don't tell you up front. There are specific Texas laws that protect you, and knowing them could be the difference between financial freedom and years of struggle. So stick with me, because I'm about to show you which debt relief option could actually work in your situation and the one Texas law that can stop collectors in their tracks. Hi, I'm Rob, a financial coach for more than 20 years. I get how confusing debt can feel, especially with so many ads out there making promises that seem too good to be true. So I'm here to break down what's real and what's not, and how you can finally start taking control of your debt with confidence and clarity. Today, we're diving deep into debt relief options specifically for Texas residents. I'll walk you through the 4 main types of debt relief available to you, why debt settlement might be your strongest option, the critical Texas law that protects you from old debt, and exactly how to qualify for government-assisted programs that can actually help. So let's get into it. Here's what most Texans don't realize. Choosing the wrong debt relief option could actually make your financial situation worse. Look, when you're staring at mounting bills and endless collector calls, it's easy to grab at the first lifeline thrown your way. But not all debt relief was created equal, especially in Texas. You've got 4 main paths: debt consolidation, credit counseling, debt settlement, and bankruptcy. Each one works differently, and each one has serious implications for your credit and your wallet. Debt consolidation means rolling multiple debts into one loan, ideally with a lower interest rate. For example, imagine someone's juggling 5 credit cards with rates ranging from 18 to 24%. If they can consolidate into one personal loan at 12%, they'd save hundreds of dollars a month. But here's the catch. You need decent credit to qualify for a consolidation loan, and you're not actually reducing what you owe, just reorganizing it. Credit counseling connects you with nonprofit agencies that negotiate lower interest rates with your creditors. Picture a situation where someone's paying $800 a month across multiple cards. A counselor might get those rates dropped, bringing payments down to $600. You're still paying everything back, but it's more manageable. Debt settlement is where things get interesting. We'll dig deeper into this one in the next chapter because it's a powerful option for people in Texas with serious debt and financial hardship. The 4th option is bankruptcy, which wipes out debt but stays on your credit report for up to 10 years. So yeah, it's the nuclear option, and honestly, most people don't want to go there. Now here's the reality for Texans. The average Texas household carries $6,270 in credit card debt, and that's not counting car loans, medical bills, or mortgages. When you're dealing with that kind of pressure, understanding which option actually helps reduce your burden instead of just shifting it around is critical. So drop a comment below. Which of these debt relief options have you considered? I read every comment, and I'd love to know where you're at in your journey. What if I told you that you could get rid of your debt for less than you owe and it's completely legitimate? Well, that's debt settlement, and it's one of the most misunderstood debt relief strategies out there. Here's how it works. Instead of making payments directly to your creditors, a debt settlement company works with you to set aside funds over time. Once there's enough saved, they can reach out to your creditors to try to negotiate a settlement for less than what's owed. But it's important to know that the amount and timing of any settlement depends on your specific situation and creditor agreements. But I'm going to be real about the process. When you enter a debt settlement program, you typically stop making payments to your creditors. Instead, that money goes into a dedicated account that you control that's used to fund your settlements. Your credit score will take a hit, and collectors will still call. But here's the thing. If you're already drowning and can't keep up with minimum payments, your credit is probably tanking anyway. The companies that do this charge fees, usually a percentage of the enrolled debt. In Texas, reputable debt relief companies are transparent about these costs up front. If someone's being vague about fees, that's a big red flag. The key is to work with a legitimate company, not some fly-by-night operation promising miracles. When choosing a debt relief partner, look for companies accredited by the Association for Consumer Debt Relief or the International Association of Professional Debt Arbitrators. Whatever path you choose, it's vital you understand the laws around debt in your state. If you live in Texas, there are unique state laws that affect how debt and collections are handled. That means the debt settlement process may look a little different here than in other states. Generally, debt settlement programs are designed to help people work toward resolving their enrolled debts over a set period, often several years, depending on their situation, income, and creditor cooperation. Next, we'll take a closer look at what this means for Texans. Have you ever worked with a debt settlement company or considered it? Share your experience or concerns in the comments. Your story could help someone else watching this. Here's a key legal protection that debt collectors don't want you to know about. In Texas, old debt has an expiration date. It's called the statute of limitations, and it's a game changer if you're dealing with debt that's been haunting you for years. In Texas, the statute of limitations on most written contracts, including credit cards, is 4 years. What does that mean? After 4 years from your last payment or acknowledgement of the debt, creditors can't legally sue you to collect. Let me paint a picture. Imagine someone stopped paying on a credit card in January 2022. By January 2026, that debt is now what's known as time barred. That means the creditor can still ask for payment, they can still call you, but they can't take you to court. And if they try to, you'll have a legal defense due to the statute of limitations. But here's where people mess up. If you make even a small payment on that debt or acknowledge it in writing, that 4-year clock can restart just like that. So if a collector contacts you about an old debt, don't acknowledge it's yours, and definitely don't pay a penny until you verify the dates. Now let me be crystal clear. Time barred debt doesn't disappear from your credit report immediately. It can stay on there for up to 7 years from the date of your first delinquency. But after 4 years, the collector's power to force payment through the courts is gone. This is why understanding Texas law is so powerful. You always have rights, and knowing them can save you from paying debts you're no longer legally obligated to pay. Did you know about the 4-year statute of limitations in Texas? Drop a yes or no in the comments. I'm curious how many people are aware of it. If you've got certain types of debt, you might qualify for government-backed debt relief programs and not even know it. Let's talk about those that are actually available to Texas residents, because there's a lot of confusion about what government debt relief really means. So first, I want to clear something up. The federal government does not have a program that pays off your credit card debt. I know we all wish there was one, but it doesn't exist. Maybe you've seen ads promising Trump debt relief or Trump's new program, but unfortunately, those ads are misleading at best, or at worst, straight up scams. However, there are some legitimate government-backed options that could help. Federal student loan forgiveness programs exist for teachers, public service workers, and people with specific financial hardships. If you work for a government agency or nonprofit, you may also qualify for public service loan forgiveness if you've made a certain number of payments on your student loans. Nonprofit credit counseling agencies approved by the Department of Justice can help you set up debt management plans. These aren't government programs, but they're regulated and required to be transparent about fees. If you're looking for options specific to Texas, the Texas Department of Banking provides a list of licensed and regulated debt relief companies. Before working with anyone, check their license status. This can help protect you from scammers. Here's what you need to qualify for most legitimate debt relief programs. Proof of financial hardship. Things like job loss, medical emergencies, or reduced income. A minimum debt threshold. That usually means $7,500 or more in unsecured debt. Steady income to make program payments, and a genuine commitment to becoming debt-free. For example, imagine someone earning $45,000 with $20,000 in credit card debt. Then, an unexpected health issue forces them to take time off, and now they're only making $30,000. Because of that financial hardship, they likely qualify for debt settlement through a debt relief company or a debt management plan through a nonprofit agency. The bottom line is, always do your homework. Check credentials, read reviews, and never, ever pay fees before services are rendered. That's illegal under federal law. What's been your biggest challenge in finding legitimate debt relief help? Let me know in the comments. I want to make sure I address your real concerns in future videos. Okay, let's wrap this up. We've covered the 4 main types of debt relief in Texas, why debt settlement can be such a powerful tool, the critical 4-year statute of limitations that protect you, and exactly how to qualify for legitimate government-backed debt relief programs. With the average Texas household carrying over $6,200 in credit card debt, and with interest rates where they are, the debt burden for Texans is only getting larger. But now you know your options, your rights, and how to separate the real debt help from the scams. Now, if this video helps you understand debt relief better, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you don't miss future videos where I break down more debt relief strategies just like this. And if you want to dive even deeper into debt relief options, check out freedomdebtrelief.com for more resources, calculators, and tools to help you take control of your financial future. Look, you've got this. Thanks for watching.